we should be able to go. After all, Jackie's sort of our horse too.
Melbourne's an awful long way. Cost an arm and a leg to fly you lot over.
Why couldn't we come in the truck with you, Mr. Brinkman and Jackie?
Too crowded. And how would you explain a truck on a horse float to your parents?
It's not fair.
It'd be great to see her run.
You will. On the telly.
But it's not the same as being there.
No, not the same at all. It says here that Jackie's sister is a favourite for the Melbourne Cup.
Jackie can beat her any day.
Yeah.
Can't you two find somebody else's brand and loll about on? I'll put that on your mother's bill. Don't forget to give it to her.
We've got to go.
We can't. We told Geraldine we'd wait for her.
No, to Melbourne.
We can't.
Sorry, Phoebe put snails in my lunchbox again.
Look, it says here.
Stop it, Gavin. We can't go, so forget about the cup.
But look, there's a Chinese dynasty exhibition on at the same time. So, we might have just found the answer.
I think he's finally lost the plot.
I think you're right.
But when I suggested studying the Chinese dynasties, you all voted it the second most boring subject after the mating habits of the giant Gippsland earthworm.
Well, the exhibition might make us a bit keener.
Rather a costly way of whetting your appetites.
Well, it's such a great time to visit Melbourne, though. I mean, with the Cup coming up and all.
The cup? Oh, the horse race.
Maybe we could go to that too. I'm sure it'd be very educational.
Yes, very.
So that's him.
Wouldn't you like to go to the Melbourne Cup, Mrs. Maps?
Oh, yes, I'd love to. Not that I have any particular interest in horses. How do the rest of you feel about a trip to Melbourne?
We've got my mum on side.
Yeah, good one, yeah.
Now what we have to do is convince the rest of the olds.
Just lay on the educational bit, real thick.
And tell them you'll be the only kid in the whole school that'll miss out.
Yeah, that always works. But there's only one of you. My parents have got to pay for the whole... Oh, no!
What?
Pee-Pee! We forgot about Pee-Pee!
Oh, right. Yeah.
He can't come. He'll blow everything.
Kelvin,
Hey, Jules, what are you doing over from the mainland?
guess what?
No time for guessing games. I've got to go to the bank. I'm about to put my car account into overdrive.
I've got a surprise for you.
What, someone's left me their fortune?
Better than that. Look.
Wow. Hey, buddy, how are you?
How long are you back from Hong Kong?
I'm staying with the Liangs for a couple of days, and I'm off to Melbourne.
Got family there?
Nope, a friend. Babe. Babe!
She's flying in from London for a couple of concerts.
Babe does concerts. Don't look so surprised. She's hot stuff overseas at the moment. Here, present.
She never said anything in her letters.
What letters?
Exactly, I mean, who am I? After all, I'm just the person who put her feet onto the first rungs of the ladder to success.
Well, why don't you catch up with her at the concert then? That's what we're doing.
Melbourne, cool, can I?
Can't see why not. As long as Ralph and Julie are there to keep an eye on you.
Great. Cash, cheque or Visa?
Sorry?
Well, the travel agent's bound to ask when I book the plane ticket.
Cash. Yours.
That's my car fund.
Well, I guess it just comes down to a question of priorities.
So are you coming or not?
Well, like you said, Mum, it's a question of priorities.
Pee-Pee, out! I was just... If I ever catch you in here again, I'm gonna pull your toenails out. I didn't touch anything!
Honest! I just wanted to know what it was like to be in a real plane. I've never flown before. Never? Never ever. Do you reckon I'll be sick when I go to Melbourne? Oh, no, not unless you eat the in-flight food. So, did Kelvin ever tell you what happened to this plane? No. Good. I mean, you know, he probably didn't want to give you nightmares. Why? What happened? There was this flight to Melbourne. That night, air traffic control got a really weird message. Mayday, mayday. We've been caught in the tractor beam of a large UFO. 4 green aliens have materialized in the cockpit. They've zapped the co-pilot. They're taking control. And that was the last anyone ever heard from the passengers and crew of Flight 809 to Melbourne.
Wow, that's right. They found the plane in the middle of the Nullarbor Desert. Green slime hanging off everything.
Gee, hope aliens don't get us on the way to Melbourne.
You'd better not go if you're scared.
Oh, I'm not scared. Anyway, Geraldine, I'm sure you'll take care of me.
didn't buy it.
Yeah, guess he's finally growing up.
What's so funny?
Gavin and Geraldine, green slimy aliens taking over the plane.
I guess they didn't want to tell you the truth.
What truth?
Well, it's all a bit hush-hush, but the Perth-Melbourne flight is one of the longest and most dangerous flights in the world.
You have to fly all the way over the ocean for 18 hours.
18 hours!
And they don't give you anything to eat.
No food! Why?
There's no toilets.
What?
It's a safety precaution. Everyone has to stay strapped in their seats for 18 hours because of the 100-mile-per-hour headwinds.
If anyone moves, decompression, the doors fly open and vroom, your history.
Granddad, I don't want to go to Melbourne!
I'm sick of this.
Do you want to go to Melbourne or not? You heard, Dad. We have to at least contribute to the cost.
Mr. Leon. It's perfect sailing. It's a beautiful boat.
Anyway, just treat her as your own. I know you'll look after her.
I really appreciate this, sir. I'm taking your dad's boat out. You two want to come?
We'd love to, man, but we're going to be kind of busy for the next couple of years.
Thanks.
Pleasure. Bye, have fun. Yes, he's a nice young man. He's very eager to visit all his old haunts on the other side of the island.
You're sailing to the other side of the island?
Uh-huh. Hey, good job, you two.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
We'll have to go warn the others.
No time, come on.
Not cheap, according to Mrs. Mabb's calculations.
What price education?
Education, pull the other one.
Sorry?
Spare us the big act, Geraldine. We know you kids dreamt up this whole Chinese dynasty thing so you could go to Melbourne.
You do?
Ralph's home on holidays. He told us all about it. He's going too.
He did? He is?
We don't mind you going to Babe's concert as well, but don't try and put one over us, all right?
I told the others they might be able to fool their parents, but not mine. So can I go?
Well, don't expect a big birthday present.
There'll be a few little odd jobs, starting with sweeping the front veranda.
Anything. Thanks, Mum. Thanks, Dad. You're the best.
Go on, Ralph, please.
Not Stewart Island. Not today. It's too far.
Come on, Ralph. I've never been there.
Yeah, and it's our dad's boat.
Look, just let me check out a few things around here first.
No, we want to go to Stewart Island. Please?
Oh, all right. Coming about. Next time I go sailing, remind me not to invite you two. Look. What? There's a horse on the beach.
I don't see any horse.
What are you, blind? There! We better go tell your dad right away.
No.
We can't.
Cersei Island is a wildlife sanctuary. Horses aren't supposed to be on the island.
Ralph, we know, but...
Okay, spill it.
So if you could spare Hermes to accompany us on our little excursion, I'm sure all the parents, as well as myself, would be extremely grateful.
What do you think, Hermes?
How long did you say you and the children would be away?
A week.
A week. 7 days. I think it's a splendid idea, sir. Bon voyage.
Hermes, wait! The excursion is to Melbourne?
Far too busy. Out of the question.
I'm told by friends who've gone to the Melbourne Cup race that it's a very pleasant city.
Melbourne Cup.
Yes!
Not that I'm interested in that sort of thing, but do you think you could spare me, sir?
Well, I'd certainly be a lot happier about this trip if you were there to keep the kids in line.
That's settled then.
Yes.
How on earth did you get her onto the island without anyone seeing?
We use a furniture van.
And if anyone ever asks any questions, Mr. Brinkman just tells them he's having furniture delivered.
She likes it. I think she's after these. Mints.
That figures. Lots of horses go crazy for mints. You just made a friend for life.
Yeah, but he's still our friend.
Ralph's not going to job. Are you?
Look, sooner or later, someone's going to spring you. Julie, probably.
No, she won't. She's not even around that much anymore.
And most of the other kids are in on it.
Yeah, well, except for Kelvin. And let's just say it wouldn't be in his best interests to reveal Jackie's presence.
What about Hermes? Beats me how he hasn't found out.
Well, actually, Aaron and I saw Hermes earlier on.
And he was headed this way.
Well, you better get the horse out of here then.
What for? She's the one he's coming to see.
I'll do it right away.
Thanks, Susan. Hello, PP. What are you doing here?
I'm gonna stay here and help Auntie Susan.
He doesn't want to go on the school trip. He's convinced the plane's going to crash.
Fear of flying, eh? Well, I might just have a cure for that little problem.
Hey, cool! A flight simulator!
It's called desensitization therapy. Now, if it works, you'll never be afraid of flying again.
An entire week with Madeline Mabs and those vile little brats. I hope you appreciate the sacrifices I'm making for you, my friend. Yes, you're right. There are worse fates. Although I can't think of any right at this moment. But it is fitting that Roma should be there for your moment of glory. All right. Part owner. I'll have to go in disguise, of course. It'll never do for the children to know that I know.
But you do know that he knows.
Yeah, but Hermes doesn't know that.
So if he did know that we know, well, then he wouldn't trust us not to tell, and he'd blow the whistle on Jackie.
Ah, I get it. I think.
That only leaves one person who could stuff things up.
So are you still our friend?
Yes, Gavin, I'm still your friend.
But Mr. Puckram, be reasonable. How do you expect me to organise an all-expenses-paid trip to Melbourne for you?
You organise it for yourself and Hermes just fine. I'm a partner in this horse syndicate too.
The Parent-Teacher Association is not going to like this one little bit. I realise it's an extra expense, but the children's safety is the most important thing. I'll be talking to the other parents, but I just thought I should mention it to you first.
I must say, I'd be a lot happier if Dad was there to keep an eye on PP.
He's not going, he's scared of flying.
He's having therapy. A crash course, you might say.
Enjoy yourself.
We can't take PP. We just can't.
Why Lonigan's Lagoon?
Because I haven't been over to the other side of the island for months and months.
We can walk over any old time. We could take out Mr. Young's boat for the whole afternoon.
Come on, Ralph, it'll be just like old times. Meet you at the store at 1 o'clock?
Nice try, Ralph. Julia's gonna chuck a Shinoba when she sees that horse. She won't see the horse. They're moving it out this afternoon. She's gonna wonder about the stable they've got set up there.
Oh, it's not our problem.
Well, scam could be blown.
It's not my scam.
No, this is better than anything you ever dreamed up.
Hey, when it comes to scams, I'm the king. And Hermes is always the joker. That's the point.
You never got him on side.
Yeah, well, no mere mortal could ever get Hermes on side.
Want a bet?
Yeah, $10. Done.
Gavin and the others have had Hermes helping them with the horse for months.
Hermes knows about Jackie.
Why shouldn't he? He is one of the owners.
Thank you. Hurry up, Brinkman. We haven't got all day. It's ridiculous. Oh, for heaven's sake, how long does it take to change a tyre?
I'd be able to do it quicker if you got out of my light.
I want this writing desk off the island before... Mr. Leung.
Not more trouble with the writing desk, Horace.
The old leg's playing up again. Darn it.
Sir, I was wondering if I could take out your boat again today.
What was that? What?
Mr. Leung, is that okay? I did promise Kelvin and Julie I'd meet them at 1.
What's going on?
That sounded like a horse.
Well, it certainly wasn't a writing desk. Hermes, open this van.
But Mr. Leung,
Now.
Well, look on the bright side. For once, it's not our butts on the end of a size 10 boot.
Mr. Leung, Julie, meet Jackie. I told you she was crazy about mints.
You knew.
Julie, no.
How do you explain that? Love at first sight?
Hermes. Horace. I think you've got some explaining to do.
And so it begins. The destruction of a dictatorship, the fall of the Roman Empire, and the end of the Indakis era. Yes!
A member of my own staff. A man I'd come to respect, to trust. To like. A man who repays me with deceit and duplicity.
Pardon me, Mr. Leung, but Hermes here had nothing to do with this horse caper.
I didn't?
He didn't know what was really inside the van when he offered to escort us. And that goes for young Ralph and everyone else. It was my idea. Mine, and mine alone.
Is this correct, Hermes?
I'm all right, sir. The shock, you understand?
I really am very sorry, Hermes.
That you could possibly believe that even for a moment, I, Hermes Endacus, your right-hand man, could have anything to do with that charlatan and his crack-brained schemes. I'm mortally hurt, sir. Cut to the very quick, wounded to the core.
I really am very sorry, Hermes, but what are we going to do about this horse?
Let Brinkman take her. After all said and done, it'd be a shame if she didn't run in the Melbourne Cup.
Well, I can't do that, Hermes. What I meant was, how do we get in touch with her owner, this mysterious Abdul Ahmed? Brinkman seems to have no idea.
Perhaps he'll contact you.
Well, I hope so, because that animal is not leaving this base until he does.
Hey guys, code red alert. Battle stations, follow me.
Hello. This is Mr. Abdul Ahmed. I would like to speak with Mr. James Leung.
Mr. Leung, I understand there is a problem.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ahmed, but Cersei Island is a flora and fauna sanctuary.
Can we discuss this together?
Stabling a horse here might have done a lot of damage. No, I'm afraid you'll have to stay here until the authorities decide otherwise.
I would only like to help you.
Just a minute.
Can we solve this problem, Mr. Leung?
Well, there might be criminal charges, not to mention fines, and you will be held accountable.
Please.
What is it, Kelvin?
Mr. Leung, allow me to put this another way. I am a very wealthy man. Allow the horse to leave, and Allah will smile upon you for 1,000 days and nights. The riches of 100 of Aladdin's treasure caves will be yours.
Is that a bribe, Mr. Ahmed?
Come on. Come on, girl.
Okay, here's the plan. Milan, you and I sneak in while Geraldine, Amy and Crystal tie up Kowalski. We head for the truck. I drive and you help Aaron get Jackie in the back. Meanwhile, Garth and Sandy, you'll be changing the security codes on the locks to jam the doors. Then, when they're least expecting it, we ram through the gate with the van. What do you think?
It stinks.
Yeah.
And what about Ralph? He's in a lot of trouble because of us.
Yeah, we have to help him too.
Well, does anyone else have any ideas?
I have. But you're not going to like it.
Exactly how many of you are in on this? All of you? But right from the start? And suddenly, after all these months, guilt finally gets the better of you and you decide to confess.
Not exactly. It's because of Ralph.
Well, no, Ralph has nothing to do with it. He was just covering for us.
Loyalty to your friend. Well, that's something. No wonder you're all breaking your necks to go on the school trip. How convenient that the Chinese Dynasty exhibition was on at the same time as the Melbourne Cup.
Please, Mr. Leung, you've just got to let Jackie go.
All right. I'll tell Brinkman to collect the horse. Anything to get her off the island.
See? Didn't I tell you he'd understand?
I hope you understand that she won't be coming back.
Mr. Leung, this is Jackie's home.
Not anymore, Amy. As for the rest of you, if you think this touching little display of belated honesty gets you all off the hook, well, I'm sorry. You can forget about your little junket to Melbourne, and I'm sure when your parents find out what you've been up to, they'll agree with me.
Guess what, everybody? I'm not afraid of flying anymore. Was it something I said?
Goodbye, horse. And good riddance, Hermes.
Bye, Jackie.
We're going to miss you around here.
We sure are. I just can't believe we're never going to see you again.
Look on the bright side. No more 5 a.m. training runs.
Yeah, no more manure to shovel. When you think about it, what did we do before Jackie came?
Come on, girl. We better get on.
Goodbye, Jackie. I'm never gonna forget you.
Was Mr. Liang very angry with you?
I'm afraid so. Naturally, I've offered my resignation. With 4 weeks' notice, of course. Farewell, my friend.
She's going to miss you most of all, Mr. Andakis.
What? Who's going to miss me?
You don't have to pretend anymore. We know you know about Jackie.
We knew all along that you were Mr. Ahmed.
You knew? And you didn't tell anyone? Why?
Guess it doesn't really matter anymore.
My job, my truest friend, and now my self-respect. How much more have I got to lose?